Last year alone, I did more than $5 million in revenue with my dropshipping stores with a juicy profit margin of 20%. So yes, I am one of the only gurus who actually makes more than 7 figures in pure profit per year with dropshipping. Now in this video, I'm gonna make sure that you can copy my entire dropshipping strategy from A to Z. And I'm not promising that with this strategy, you as well are gonna be able to make 7 figures in profit per year with dropshipping. But I'm 100% sure that it's gonna get you to at least 10K profit per month completely for free. So let's dive into the strategy and make sure you watch until the end because there's nothing about it you want to miss. As you saw by the dashboard, this is not just normal Shopify dropshipping. No, I use the platform Funnelish. We're gonna talk more on that in the middle of the video. So for now, just remember that we're not using Shopify, but we're still just dropshipping products, of course. Now, the first thing we have to start with is choosing the right market to sell in. If you watch 99.9% of the YouTube videos about dropshipping, most people will just tell you to sell in the US market. Now, if I'm being 100% honest, over the past 5 years, I've literally tried every single fucking market that is out there for dropshipping, and the US market itself is the hardest market to choose, especially as a beginner. The reason for that is because the advertising cost is extremely high due to the high competition. So why would you make it hard on yourself and start in the US market and listen to all the bullshitters on YouTube? It doesn't make any sense, right? The real money as a beginner is actually made in EU markets. Comparing it to the US, EU markets are 10 times cheaper to advertising because the competition is much lower. And not only that, they're also way behind the e-commerce trends than in the US, which means you can get away with a lot more mistakes in EU markets than in the US market. So again, you're gonna save money on testing because advertising costs are cheaper, and you can make more mistakes and still make a lot of money. That means that obviously EU markets are a no-brainer. I'm talking about markets like the Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Italy, the UK, France. If you create a web shop that is completely localized to one of these markets, so everything is translated into just one single language, you target only one country, you are going to make a lot more money than if you were to target the US market. And again, you'll get sales 10 times faster. Now, out of all EU markets in the beginning, the Netherlands and Belgium is probably the easiest to start with. That is because they only require 2 payment methods. So Ideal and Bank Contact are the 2 payment methods that are required in those countries. Now, what is so special about these payment methods? Well, you probably know about credit card and PayPal, which is necessary in the US market, for example. If your customer is angry or you're shipping too slow or whatever the problem may be, they can very easily file a chargeback on credit card or on PayPal. While with Bank Contact and Ideal, the 2 Dutch payment methods, they cannot even file a chargeback. Now, don't get any stupid ideas in your head. It still means you have to deliver and you have to have a good service and good customer communication. It just means that as a beginner, you can make more mistakes while still keeping the money that you make. Now, what language do they actually speak in the Netherlands and Belgium? Well, they speak Dutch. So you have to make sure that your store is in Dutch. Do you need to speak Dutch? Of course not. You can just use ChatGPT for that, and I'll leave a huge ass translation prompt in the description below for you to use for free. Now that we chose the market, let's dive into what product we can actually sell. Because product selection is one of the most important things about dropshipping. As you now know already, I like to make it as easy as possible on myself. Not only in the market that I choose, but also for the products that I choose. And over the past 5 years, I've noticed that all my winning products were usually in one single niche: the health and the beauty niche. The reason that niche is the absolute easiest is because of the pain points that it targets. Any health problem is extremely emotional. That means that if you have any sort of pain right now and you see an advertisement on Facebook that is going to solve that pain, it is an absolute no-brainer to buy. Much more than some dog toy or some kitchen utensil. And then if we're talking about beauty, it is the second best thing next to health. Because for a lot of women, feeling ugly and unattractive is as painful as being unhealthy. I did not invent the rules of biology. This is just the way it is. So I choose to capitalize on that and again, make it as easy as possible. So I focus on the health and the beauty niche. Now, do you need to spend multiple weeks on finding your first product in that niche? No. You don't want to overthink this process. The way I like to do my product research is I like to use a spy tool, but that is not necessary. You can also just use the ad library for free. If you want to use a spy tool, my preference goes to Minea. What I do in these spy tools or in the Facebook ad library is I type in keywords that'll show me health and beauty products. Now you can be very creative about this. The first keywords that come to my mind are, for example, anti-aging, wrinkles, pain, back, knee, arthritis, inflammation, sleep, fat loss, weight loss, fit. There's an infinite number of keywords you can think of. Try to make up some of your own and then type them either in Minia or in the Facebook ad library, and you'll find a shitload of really good products to start selling. Now there's still a few more criteria that we do have to consider. First of all, I almost never sell products that cost me more than $20 to ship. So a rule of thumb is cost of goods has to be below $20. Now I also never sell my products for more than about $60. So your selling price should also be below $60. Now a healthy profit margin is 3 times your cost of goods, so we're completely fine there. But 90% of my winning products were actually below $10 cost of goods. So keep that in mind as well. You can sell more expensive devices, but the biggest, most scalable products that I have been selling for the past 5 years were always creams, patches, socks, tiny little cheap things that you can ship out for very cheaply. A really good example of this is anti-leak underwear. It's one of the bigger winners that I've had in the past, and it solves a massive health problem. Because apparently, and I didn't know this, but older women from 40 or 50 years and older start leaking down there. Of course, this is hugely embarrassing if it were to come through your pants. So the solution for that is anti-leak underwear. Now, I don't want to make it too graphic for you, but this is an absolutely perfect product. It's below $10 cost of goods, solves a massive health problem and insecurity, and the product quality itself is also really good. Now, how do you actually create your website for these products? On the sales dashboard in the beginning, you saw that I was not using Shopify. No, for the past few years, I've been using Funnelish. Now, what is Funnelish? Is this some new complicated way of doing dropshipping? No, not at all. And I'm gonna make it even easier for you by including the exact template of the anti-leak underwear funnel right in the description below for free. But you do not have to learn Funnelish. You can literally just copy and paste my product pages. But essentially, the difference between Shopify and Funnelish is that on Funnelish you have way more customization. All in all, Shopify product pages are just kinda outdated. Your win rate will literally be twice as high if you use Funnelish because of the customization. Everything on the funnel page, as you can see right here, is completely optimized to have the highest possible conversion. There are no distractions for your customers, there is no header banner, there is no menu. Every single funnel page is completely designed for the product that you're selling. This means that your customer will always think that you are the main brand of the product that you're selling, instead of having a Shopify store with 1,000 different products. Not only that, we have add to cart buttons throughout the entire funnel page. We have an FAQ section, we have before and afters, we have testimonials. We have literally all the elements you need for the highest conversion rate possible, which means you will find a winner faster, you will scale that winning product higher, and your competitors cannot just export and import your product pages into their store like they can on Shopify. So when you finally find your winner, you will also be able to just scale it for longer. Again, you can use my free template right now. You do not have to change anything about it. You can literally start selling the panties. If it's a winner, let me know in the comments. But I do recommend that after you've scaled your first winner to 1 to 2K per day using this template, you change up the template and make it your own. Any competitive advantage will help you. So put in the work after you've scaled your first winner though, change up the template and double your winner rate even more. So we discussed what market to sell in, we discussed what products to sell, and I explained completely how your website should look like. Now, of course, it is time to get it in front of your customer. In 2024, there's a million different ways to do exactly that. Now, I started 5 years ago with plain old simple Facebook ads, and surprise, surprise, it is still what I'm using today. I've tested literally every other method as well. I've tested Snapchat ads, TikTok ads, Pinterest ads, Google ads, and in my honest opinion, Facebook ads is still the way to go in 2024 with dropshipping, especially in EU markets, especially with health and beauty products, and especially if you want to scale to serious numbers like I do. All the other methods are either bullshit or just not as scalable. So trust me when I say that Facebook ads is king, and let me show you exactly how to do it. So first of all, obviously you have to start with the ad itself. Where do you get the ad? Well, very simple. This is, by the way, not legal advice or anything, but when you do your product research and you found a winning product that you want to copy the ad itself as well. Dropshipping is all about starting as lean as possible and spending as little time and money as possible on testing something. That means if you rip your competitor's ad, it is absolutely no problem, especially if it's just for testing. But do not try this at home. It is all not legal advice, wink. But no, seriously, you can just borrow the ad in the beginning, and then once you see some traction, create your own ads using someone on Fiverr or using a service like viral e-com ads or something. So you copy your competitors' ads and you put them on Facebook ads, and this is the exact campaign structure that you want to use. You want to set up a CBO campaign. It is now called Advantage Budget Optimization. It used to be called CBO. You want to set that budget of the campaign to $100, and before you start panicking, we're not going to spend the entire $100 on a losing product. No, we're going to check the product after spending only $40, and if it doesn't have any sales at that point, we're going to kill the campaign. That means you're never spending more than $40 on a product that is not getting sales. In the CBO campaign, you want to have one ad set. You want to call this ad set no targeting because we're going to set up no targeting options. The only thing we're going to choose is the country that we're going to be selling to. For example, the Netherlands and Belgium. And then in the ads, make sure you upload the video. Preferably, you translate the video in the local language using an app called Veed.io. It is extremely simple to do that. It has a bunch of AI shit that'll help you edit your video extremely fast. You can literally click on transcribe, then you can click on translate, and then you can click on auto subtitles, and your entire video is translated in 10 minutes. So put in that little bit of extra effort and you will win. Now make sure that your ad copy is also in Dutch, and then click on publish. The next day we're going to look at the campaign again, as I said, after spending $40. In most cases, if it does not have a sale, you turn off the campaign and you move on to the next product. Now, if you see a very high CTR and a very low CPC, but you have no sales at $40, you might want to check out your funnel page and see if there's something wrong there. Maybe the offer doesn't make a lot of sense, maybe the price is too high, or maybe you literally fucked up the checkout page and people aren't able to buy. That happened to me a lot of times. So if that's the case, try to tweak some things there and then let your campaign spend another $30. If it has no sales after that, then kill it and move on anyways. But if your campaign does have sales after spending $40, you're gonna let it spend $80 in total and check again. Usually at $80, your campaign should be profitable. If it is break even, you can still let it run for a bit, but if it is unprofitable at $80, kill it and move on to the next product. Then you check it one last time at the absolute end of the day. It should have spent about $100. If your campaign has a profit margin of more than 20%, you want to increase the budget with 35%. So you go inside the campaign itself, change the budget to $135 and let that run for the next day. If your campaign has a profit margin of 15% to 20%, I would only increase the budget with 20%. And if it's profitable with a margin of below 15%, you can just leave the budget as is and hope for a higher profit margin on the next day. You're gonna reapply these rules every single day until you're scaling the shit out of your campaign. Now you also want to test new ads relatively fast. As soon as you hit 3 days profitability in a row, you want to test new creatives. You can get these new creatives very easily again on Minia or on the ad library. Just look for them and borrow them. Or you can also take your existing profitable creative and change up some things like the hook or some clips in the video itself. Just test a whole bunch of variations of it inside a new campaign and then scale that campaign the same way as the original campaign. Now there are still a few different situations on when you should scale, when you should descale, etc. And if you want a full Facebook ads tutorial, I've made it in the past. You can click right here to access it, to view it completely for free. Now this all is obviously not enough to be able to do millions of dollars per year in revenue. This is just the basics. To actually make serious money with dropshipping, you're gonna have to start building out a team. I would highly advise you to hire fast. In my business career, I waited way too long with this because it was completely out of my comfort zone to hire. Do not make the same mistake as I did. You can very easily hire someone on Fiverr, onlinejobs.ph or Upwork. The first hire you will usually make is going to be your product page builder, aka your funnel builder. This person is probably going to be from the Philippines and you can easily pay them just $4 per hour. Make sure you create a good SOP for that person. So a good instruction document where everything about how to build a funnel is explained. You can obviously only do this after you've been scaling a couple funnels yourself. Otherwise, don't even bother creating instructions because you don't have any idea yet of what to create an instruction for yourself. And once you've hired your funnel builder and they are starting to work on your funnels with the instructions that you gave them, make sure to give them continuous feedback as well. Some people are way too lazy to do this and they just fire their VA as soon as they make one little mistake or as soon as the delivery is not exactly as you want it. That is a bad idea, especially with Filipino VAs. You really need to give them some feedback first, at least 2 weeks, and make sure that they can develop themselves and improve inside your business. Now, unless they make insanely stupid and obvious mistakes, you can obviously fire them. But if you see that they are doing their best and they implement all the feedback that you give them, you probably have someone very good on your hand. You have to keep that person and have them develop inside your company and they will become a massive asset. Now do this exact process again for every single part in your business. This goes from product page building to the launching of the Facebook ads, to editing the Facebook videos, to doing the product research. Eventually you will also hire a COO who will be responsible for the entire operation. And then, maybe then, you too will be making $5 million per year with dropshipping. Now I know this is a lot and I completely simplified everything to be able to pack it in this short video. But just know that if you want to make your first 10K with dropshipping, it's actually much simpler than you probably think. On average, you would need to test about 20 products before you can find your first winner. And that first winner you can easily scale to 10K in profit in just 1 month. I have countless of students who are doing exactly this every single day. Beginners who didn't even know dropshipping existed a couple months ago and who are now actually making 10K profit per month. And if you're interested in becoming one of these people as well, a guaranteed success, you can apply to my one-on-one mentorship via the link below. Now the spots are extremely limited and we handpick who we let in because we obviously only want to have successful winners. Know that you do not have to have any experience whatsoever. You just need a starting capital and a killer mindset. If that's you, apply below really quickly. And if you do not have the starting capital, but you do have a killer mindset, you should definitely check out my full free dropshipping course. I don't even have a paid course, and honestly, this free course is better than 99% of all the stuff that's out there. I've also had people making their first 10K profit per month from the free course alone. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer.